So I was at the grocery store the other day, walking through H-E-B, and I started looking at these prepackaged meals, for one, and I realized that they have all these very clear labels on them, like 3 grams of protein, 0 trans fat, all these things that are very important to know. And it got me thinking, wouldn't dating life be a lot easier if you knew exactly like what you were getting? Like you go in, you'd be like, attractive male, lead singer of the band, plays guitar, pretty good looking, not single. Okay. But really being single is like the mother of all labels. It's like when you're young and in college, it's okay. It's like, hey, I'm single. And then the older you get, the further past college, you're like, hey, I'm single. That's me. Here, okay. So you make a list of everything that you ever want, and you pull out this list, and it's very long, and it's like attractive male, intelligent, loves puppies and long walks on the beach. And the older you get, you start to cross out things that really don't matter, and you're left with things like male and induce random eye spasms. I mean, that's really bad when your dating life sends you to the doctor for muscle relaxers. But like in college, I went through and I dated, like any other good Christian girl in here, almost every apostle I could find. There was Matt and John and Bryce, but there was some evangelistic dating in there too. But now that I'm older, I've moved on and I'm open to anybody in the Old Testament, so Obadiah or Jehoshaphat, Pharaoh, 7th standard tie, okay, ladies? But really, thinking about these labels, I went on this blind date once, and I realized that should have been a warning, like right from the outset. But he was pretty honest with me, and he started talking about his labels, and he was like, hey, I'm kind of skinny, which I thought, wow, that's ridiculous. But I showed up to dinner, and he really meant was, I look a lot like Skeletor. All dinner, I'm just thinking, if this kid will order a cheeseburger, I swear he'd be a more pleasant person to be around. And then there was the date where he never really met my expectations. He would just kind of meet the bar. And so 9 dates in, he's thinking that it's time to define the relationship, and I'm thinking, did I cut my curling iron off before I left the house? I'm just not sure about that. So I moved to Houston, and I think that all my dating woes will be behind me back on the East Coast, and I go on my first big city date. And when he takes me out, he talks about his ex-girlfriend for 2 hours. I'm sitting there trying to eat my meal, and I realized at the end, when the check comes, he so graciously offered to pay, and I allowed him to. But let me tell you, whatever the price of dinner was, it was nowhere near the cost of the $90 counseling session that I offered that man, okay? But really, it's not just about your really bad dates, it's also about how you break up with these people. I mean, how do you tell someone, I don't want to see you socially, or ever? So, delete them from all of your digital media. You take them off your Facebook page, stop Twittering them, John, and then you realize, you know, I have said that line, it's not you, it's me. But honestly, it really is you, because if it wasn't you, then I wouldn't need muscle relaxers to make it through dinner. But just like John, I had a little revelation, and I wanted to end you with these 3 things tonight. 1, warning labels are there for a reason, and you really need to listen to them. 2, make sure you cut off all appliances before you leave the house. And finally, this was the most important, that there is a very fine line between Facebook stalking and restraining orders that really have a way of cutting into your dating life.
So you're inspired by life, I guess.
Absolutely, I've been on all of those things.
That's awesome. Joy, just what you think?
Okay, Megan, you did a great job. Comedy is hard, but you seem like a natural at it.
Yes!
Woo! Yeah, you seem very comfortable on stage and with a microphone, and that's good. You seemed very comfortable, and everybody was with you. You didn't get just kind of ha 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 like awkward laughs. You got good laughs, and so I think you can take that act to the improv.
Hey,
hey, one hint, the guy to your left is now legal in the U.S. So if you actually were on a date with him, you would not get in trouble if him actually getting deported during dinner. Just a piece of advice. No, you were great. It's very hard to get up, but I thought you did a great job. It was really funny.
I love that your material was stuff that everyone can relate to those type of stories. So that's huge, I think, first of all, to have material that people can relate to. Maybe slow it down just a teeny bit because everything you were saying was so funny. But just some of the phrases cut off to where I wasn't quite sure what you said. But other than that, I mean, that was really funny. Good job.
Awesome. Thanks, man.